This strut rod is supposed to be threaded all the way from here to here. I don't think it matters in my case because I don't need that much adjustability. And this sleeve goes over the top of most of the threads anyway. That sleeve is for this bushing. Now, of course, there was a sleeve on there from the old bushing, and it rotted away and rusted all of this other material away down here. So I had to weld a bunch of material back in so that this thing would be reasonably tight on here. It's not, before it was just flopping around. So my weld turned out really ugly, but as you can see here, this is going to work really good, I hope. If I had a die for that, which I don't, I would probably weld this whole thing up and try and rethread that all the way just for the sake of doing it. This strut rod is obsolete, I guess. This is one of the parts 10 years ago or so that I literally bought the last one of when there were new ones around, so there's no buying new ones. It's a part that if I had to, I could make it from scratch. This thing is not that complicated, but try not to have to do that. So this is going to have to work. I think this should give me plenty of adjustability. That's still warm. This should give me plenty of adjustability here. Considering that this nut was all the way over here anyway, originally. So this is for the caster adjustment, and if I can't get that close enough the way it is, then I'll just end up probably bending things or whatever it takes to get it so that it has the right caster when it's in the original adjustment position. So this thing shouldn't need any adjustment. Just a quick word to the wise. I'm not sure why I thought of this right now. This torque wrench goes up to 150 foot-pounds. Of course, the camera won't cooperate and show you that that's what it's calibrated to here. The highest mark is 150. But my point here is that if you needed 160 foot-pounds, you cannot go to 150 and then just go 10 clicks more. Maybe the torque wrench will comply with that, but most of them that I've experienced do not. Once you get above that 150, they become incredibly unpredictable and might never snap at any particular torque value after that. So it would be just like using a breaker bar. And of course, I learned this from experience breaking bolts when I just needed a couple more foot-pounds than what the torque wrench did. So hopefully, if you didn't know this already, you learned from my mistake.
Checking for new voicemails.
Lower ball joint is replaced. Lower control arm is straightened out. Everything's lubed. Lots of stuff cleaned up. Radius arm, strut rod, whatever you call it, is repaired and put back together. But I haven't done the alignment, so there's quite a bit of positive caster, way too much positive caster. There's camber is out, and I got some toe out too, so deal with that stuff tomorrow if I get an opportunity. Did a bunch of other stuff today. Tuned up the Jeep. It's running like a top. So that's another thing I got done. But unfortunately, I didn't get too much stuff on camera. Too much hands-on stuff to do with worrying about dealing with the camera too.
to shave it off.